But like you see, the Haitians were the ones that were at war with the other side of the world. The Haitians and the Mauritanians. The Mauritanians are what you think are Indians, right? Not to be confused with Native Americans, right? There's a lot of things about this country that people don't know. Like, for instance, this is the original rebel flag. The original rebel flag belongs to the Haitians and the Mauritanians.
So, was Haitians more in the lower parts of America, or were they in the east coast of America? Like, what part of America were they in?
The Haitian Empire was all of the tribes of the Americas, the real tribes. See, what you think are the tribes of America right now are names that were given to separate the people.
So what about the Washita Nation, the Chickasaw, all the different ones that have kind of come up now, all those ones?
Okay, right. So I'm not fluent in Creole, right? But you'll have to look these words up in Creole in order to know the real meaning behind these words, because these are all Creole words. They're compound words in Creole that are mashed together to get these titles, because they were labeling the types of people that were coming over here on the boats and things. See, everything's been confused in this nation. Like, for instance, the people that you think are Native Americans actually came here on the boats with the rest of the people.
Wow, okay.
Hidden in there?
Yep, yeah.
Native Americans are not native to America whatsoever in any way, shape, or form.
So what about the Bering Strait story? That's a fake story, or where is that?
Okay, so this is the thing. What most people don't recognize about this is you're talking about the purchase of Alaska and Siberia and all these different places from Russia, which was the Ottoman Empire at the time. All of the things that you find on the map right now, every single last one of them is a nation-state republic that was established through the 1900s into the early, like not even all the way into the 2000s, but all the way through the early 1900s was a reset of the entire world. All of these places, France is found in America, Germany's found in America. If you look at the map of the Louisiana Purchase, what you're going to find is all the names of the places that used to be here, that when they purchased the Louisiana Purchase, they took the names over there across seas. Israel, Pakistan, Palestine, Britain, Germany, France, Italy, Greece. All of these names are nation-state republics that were established from the late 1800s into the mid 1900s. None of those were the names of the land over there. Over there, you had the Ottoman Empire, which basically covered the bottom half of what you consider to be Russia, all the way from the area, from the top of what you consider to be Africa to the middle part of where Italy's at, like almost all the way through Italy. That whole entire section of land right there was what was known as the Ottoman Empire. Now, the Ottoman Empire has been at war and been conquering the land slowly over here. These are who you think your Moors are. The Moorish Science Temple is not Moors from this land. Those are Moors that came from across the world. Those are what are called the Buar Moors. Here, let me show you real quick.
So the Moors that wear the red fez, are those a specific type of Moor that come from, they say, Morocco?
Okay, so this is the thing. First off, Morocco isn't the real Morocco. That was established by the Spanish and the French. That's not the real Morocco. That's why it's called Morocco. Amaruk is how you pronounce Morocco in the Berber language, which was one of the languages from this land that the Mauritanians spoke. The Mauritanians are what you think the Indian, what you think the original Indians are. Now, the Mauritanians had been divided through the per chase. They were chasing them. It wasn't that they were buying it. It was per chase. These are the compound words that people have been jumbling together to confuse the fuck out of people. And so hold on, let me see if I know I have a picture of the Mauritanians in here from the original seals. Like Florida used to be a third of this country. So let me see. See,
was there like a map that used to show that Florida was a third of the country?
Yeah. Let me see if I have that too. I probably have it in here somewhere.
And I wanted to go back a little bit to that Joseph Smith story, because it's interesting, because they say that he had ties to Masonry, and that the whole thing of him with putting his head in the rock or whatever he did, or put his head underneath a rock, something, whatever that story is, where he put his head underneath some kind of a rock and came out and had the Book of Mormon or something like that. Like that.
Yeah, see, they came up with a whole bunch of really wild stories for things. Okay,
that was like a Masonic ritual that was going on.
Yeah, because the Masons were the ones that Akhenaten set out to change the world over to religious ideology rather than the spirituality that it used to be. Right, like. These were people that got ejected from the Americas due to the fact that they were trying to create religions, which create division, which create a whole bunch of fucking problems for everybody that gets involved into them. You can't even get people that agree with things in the religion that they're in, yet let alone agree with things with people that they're not in religions in. See this? This used to be the official seal of Florida. The Mauritanians.
Wow, and there were buildings there, so that's interesting, right?
Oh, these buildings are still in Florida. They're still there to this day.
And so you would think that these buildings were built by, the slaves of America, but really they were there before they were even. So when
long ago. You were asking about the pyramids the other day because the gentleman that was on your screen had this map behind him, right? I watched about 30 minutes of that. I couldn't deal with those people's conversations. They're so misguided, and it's like the things that they spoke on were just incorrect and false, calling us Native Americans and associating us with them. That was the Know Nothing party that came over on the boats that was under the command of the Ottoman Empire that was here to invade us. So the idea of mixing with them and them being here is false history, like altogether false history. And so I couldn't conform to the things that they were talking about.
So I want to be clear. Joseph Smith, was he white or was he a black guy?
No, he was a black man.
So where did they get the narrative of Joseph Smith being white? How did that come out? Like, how did they switch? How were they able to change that?
Because if you go and look at the census records, everybody that you now consider black was written down as whites, because white is a lawful term that means the landowners. We were the original landowners of this land.
Right. See? So are you a mixture? Are you black? Are you white? Are you mixed? Or what is your?
I'm mixed. I mean, I'm black by all accounts, because you are what your father is. And not for nothing, but I've had that hard R thrown at me my whole entire life, and I've stood on business when it came down to these things. And so, although I do get a lot of guff from it because my mother is Irish, which is white passing, I'm glad that you asked that, because let me just show some things real quick, because you know what, that's something that really needs to be discussed in a serious note, because there's a lot of people
somebody said that I'm being brainwashed by white supremacists. I'm like, well, that's why I had to bring up, because I think when they heard you say Joseph Smith, they're like, Joseph Smith is white, so he's a white guy that's trying to teach black history.
Yeah, no, if they had any type of intelligence whatsoever and actually looked into the census records of their own families, they would find that everybody in their families in the 1800s and before that, if they have lineage that far in this nation, was listed as white on the census records. So don't let them run their mouth about things that they've been taught to indoctrinate, because you've been literally taught to war against your own family members, because what you believe to be white people is simply different forms of albinism.
Okay. So when we
Now,
talk, okay, so let's get into that. So when we talk about Irish, right? Because I have Irish. When I did my DNA, I think I'm like 29% Irish and I think Nordic. What was the significance of Irish in America? Like, why is there such a heavy influence of the Irish in America?
okay, you have to, okay, this goes back to the destiny swap of the purchasing of the names of the land and swapping them over across seas. Ireland was part of America. So was Britain, so was France, so was Germany. So all these places were American places. If you, here, let me see if I got that. Let me see if I got the map.
Are you saying that America had an empire at the same time Egypt had an empire?
America was what you would consider Egypt. That place over there is the last standing point of it. We have thousands of pyramids in this country, and most people drive by them every single day and don't even recognize what they're looking at. Now, due to the fact that my father was so adamant about me teaching my brain to store things, he made me learn all of the 50 states in alphabetical order. Now, that came to my advantage a little later on in life, because what I actually did was I searched all of the states for pyramids, state by state. Let me see something real quick.
So are you talking about like the mounds, or are you talking about actual real pyramids?
Mound is just another word for pyramid. So let's see. Now, this is the Mayan stuff. Okay, look, right? Alabama, Arkansas, Colorado, Delaware. That's still Delaware. What state is this? That's still Delaware. Colorado, Georgia, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, New Jersey. Let's see, you got New Hampshire, North Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Oregon, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas.
Can you move your iPad closer? Because I can't. We can't. Okay, there you go.
Oh, my bad. All right, so basically here, let me go like this. See all these pyramids right here?
Wow.
There's about 46 states in America that have pyramids in them.